what are the implications of this potential default?
Yeah, so this would be, as you just noted, the first foreign debt default in a century, since 1918 for Russia. This basically, this failure to pay event occurred, allegedly, this derivatives panel found on April 4th. If Russia is able to pay bondholders in dollars before May 4th, it could avoid this default. But it also points to some of these really serious issues that Russia has before it since the invasion of Ukraine in terms of things like this. One would have, been very surprised to think that Russia could be defaulting on foreign debt, but this has really all occurred since the invasion of Ukraine, and there is some concern that they may not be able to pay those bondholders before that May 4th deadline.
In the meantime, the US and Chinese officials held a call today, talking all things Russia, Ukraine, these security issues. What do we know about any kind of progress or consensus reached on that call?
Yeah, so that call was between the Defense Secretary Austin and his Chinese counterpart, their foreign or their defense minister, and it took place. It was a phone call. The U.S. had been trying to set up this call. They didn't appear to make much progress. The U.S. basically said the call occurred. There was, and the Chinese, substantiated that, saying it was about Ukraine and it was about security issues involving the two countries. The U.S. wanted in that call to continue to pressure China not to be supporting Russia, to take a tougher stance on Russia and that invasion of Ukraine and Russia's continued efforts there and its lack of discussions about withdrawing. China said that the U.S. and other Western countries should not use this and should not use Ukraine as a way to, as the defense minister said, smear China by using the Ukraine issue. So they appear to be talking, but there didn't appear to be a whole lot of change in the tone that has occurred between the two countries since that invasion.
Talk to us a little bit more about China's stance here in terms of Russia, because when this whole thing started about 3 months ago, we thought that China still really valued territorial integrity for countries. So has any of that changed at all now that we're headed into 3 months of conflict?
Yeah, it's interesting, Sherry, because China has continued to say that they do value that territorial integrity. At the same time, they have said that they have had tacit support for Russia. They will not publicly criticize the invasion, and they have made statements, continue to make statements like we heard today, that this should not be used as a way to smear China on the world stage. So we really haven't seen a lot, at least publicly, China change its stance. Now, China also has a raft of other problems that they're dealing with right now, the COVID cases, the lockdowns, and some economic tensions. But we have not really seen them change their stance, certainly not with U.S. officials.